What's going on, Facebook world? Hey man, I wanted to drop a video, man. I threw out a couple posts yesterday, more than a couple actually, concerning the tragedy that happened with George Floyd. Rest in peace to George Floyd. I pray that his family receives comfort in this time. I'm hopeful that justice is served and that the murderous, insidious officers that participated in that man's death are all held accountable and have to face, you know, the hammer. You know what I'm saying? But this is a question I had in one of my posts. I was posing a scenario that there are police officers on the force. Now I'm saying there are police officers on the force. I'm not saying all police officers on the force. Some of these police officers are white individuals that reside in rural, suburban communities well outside of the city of Minneapolis. Some of these individuals have never even interacted or developed relationships with people of color. Some of these individuals have bigotry in their family, in their belief system. Some of them are racist, flat out racist. Some of them are just fearful of what they don't understand or know. And they look down upon and maybe despise some of the people that they have to protect and serve. So my question is, one, are those individuals identified in the hiring process when they do the psychological exam and the background checks? Is there a way to identify those type of people? Two is, how many of these officers either have military aspirations or have spent multiple tours in the Middle East and then come right back home and jump right in the streets as an officer versus getting the time to decommission from one war zone to the next, and mixing that with the ideology, the bigotry, the fear of people of color. So my question is why are departments hiring these individuals and then placing them in inner city environments? How many times have you encountered a cop and said, man, that dude has no business even being around here? You could just tell by the way he looked at me, the way he talked at me, the jokes he's made. Just think about the police officers in the 4th precinct that made that Christmas tree with Colt 45 bottles and hot Taki chip bags and blunts, and just mocking the very community they're supposed to protect and serve. Now, it was a joke to them, but it wasn't one black person in that area thought that was funny. So with every single joke, there's truth to it, right? That's what makes it funny to certain people. So when I tell a joke and you laugh, you could relate to the joke. There was some truth in that you identified with. So to them, it's funny because they're identifying that truth because that's what they believe of you. To us, that's not funny because we know that's not what we are. But they believe that. So you're giving them a gun, you put them in a stressful situation, there's dangers to the jobs, and they despise and do not value the people that they're there to protect and serve. So again, my question is, why are these individuals being placed in inner city communities? So this question has to go to the top of the chain, to the captain, to the mayor, to the upper echelon of law enforcement, to the upper levels of leadership within law enforcement. This question has to go to the HR. This question has to go to the different policymakers in law enforcement. I know a little bit about law enforcement. I got family who are cops. I got some close friends who are cops. I'm no expert, but I know in business, when you're looking to bring people into your organization, you have a hiring strategy, and you look for people. Let this go by. You look for people who are going to enhance and bring value to what you're trying to do. How is this individual who had 19 years on the force, that had been part of multiple, when you look at his record, multiple infractions and excessive violence charges and excessive force complaints, part of a couple police shootings himself, how has this individual been bringing value to what your initiatives are, and how did he get there in the first place? If we can answer that question across the country and identify why these different individuals are being placed in inner city communities, maybe we can begin to reduce what's happening, because we obviously have people that are there just for a check and there to wreak vengeance and act upon their hate and fears versus trying to bring solutions to the inner city communities. So that's my question.